Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Bourchier. I'm Yeoland Binder, hosting this week's edition with
Bridget Brown and Flynn Glassam.
And we are joined with a very special guest. Drum roll, please. The CEO of Foott Waste, Andrew Yeoland.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
How are you, Mr. Andrew?
I'm good, thank you. Very happy to be here and very happy to talk a bit about Foott Waste today.
So could you please tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. So I'm the CEO of Foott. You're probably wondering, what is a CEO, right? I sometimes have to ask myself that question too. Normally it means the big boss, the one that looks after everything. But you know what? As a CEO, really at the end of the day, I'm just there to help our team get better and help the organisation get better.
Yeah.
But I have one daughter who turned 18 on the weekend, and I'm married. So, and I like travelling and doing all of that sort of stuff as well.
How many services do you guys do and what are those services?
We provide quite a lot of services, but let me maybe put it this way. We're sort of almost broken into three divisions. So we've got the work that we do with businesses, where we collect waste from businesses, but we've also got work that we do with what we call our curbside or household collections. So you've probably seen our trucks go through Shepparton now, picking up your green bin, your yellow bin, your glass bin, and also the red bin. So Foott also do that, and that's called curbside collections from your households. And then the third thing that we do is container deposit scheme. So we've actually got a depot here in Shepparton, and I'll talk a bit more about it later, but we've got some depots here in Shepparton, Benalla, Yarrawonga and Cobram, where we collect cans and bottles and PET from the general public for recycling.
Oh, interesting. What made you join Foott and how long have you been working there?
I've been working there for 2 years, and what made me join it was I'm really passionate about recycling, as I'm sure you guys are as well. And one of the great things about this company is that I get to see what happens with our waste, and I get to understand the good things about it, and I get to understand the bad things about it. And so for me, I felt it gave me a job that I could try and influence and improve the way we recycle. So that's one of the main reasons why I joined Foott. And the other thing as well is that I could see there's a lot of growth opportunities as well. So one of the great things is that people want to participate more and more in recycling. So things like the container deposit scheme is only fairly new. So there's a lot of good growth opportunities as well. That's what excited me.
Yeah.
So Andrew, what is one thing you wish everyone listening right now would start doing to reduce their waste?
You know, I keep it pretty simple, right? And I say, buy only what you need. Because at the end of the day, the less waste we create by what we buy or what we eat or what we do, that's going to be a good start anyway, right? So I think, you know, particularly when we think about food waste, you think about the stuff that you throw out of your fridge because it's gone off or it's gone past its use-by date. So one of the things that we can all do as general public is say to ourselves, I'm just going to buy the food that I need to buy right now, or I'm just going to buy even things like presents and toys and those sorts of things. If we can reduce or only buy what we really need, it would make a big difference.
Yeah, I agree with you.
What type of materials can you recycle?
One of the great things is there's heaps of stuff we can recycle, right? So I'll give you some examples. So things like obviously some of the drinks containers, we can recycle things like aluminium cans. We can recycle the plastic bottles that we have. We can recycle glass bottles and those liquid paper boards, so the poppers, things like that. We can recycle all of those. But the other good thing is that we do a lot of recycling in other things like cardboard. So you can recycle cardboard and paper. We even do things like we're recycling, those big seed bags that you see, or the big baler bags. We can recycle those as well. And things like soft plastics as well. We're seeing a lot of recycling of that too. So the good news is that there's more and more things that we can recycle, which is great.
Wow, that is quite a bit of things you can recycle.
Yeah, and they're even finding new ways of recycling certain things, even clothing and other things these days. There's a whole range of technology going into how we can better recycle, which is terrific.
How many cans do you recycle per year?
Do you know, I had to go and I have to really think about this and had to go and search my brain for how many I thought we recycle. Do you know, I worked out that we probably are recycling about 70 million cans a year.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's what I said too. I thought, whoa, which is incredible. And those cans are coming from the container deposit scheme where we collect from all over northern Victoria. So we do a lot of the processing of those, getting them ready for recycling. So it's a lot of cans. I was surprised as well when I looked at the numbers.
We were all guessing about 1 million.
Oh, no. Many, many more. I think even if we look at Shepparton, the container deposit scheme depot here in Shepparton is one of the busiest in the whole of Victoria. So what that tells me is that the people of Shepparton are doing a really, really good job in wanting to return their bottles and their cans and their plastic bottles to get money for them, which is terrific.
Yeah, my family recycle, they keep tons of cans just to recycle them.
It's a good idea though, isn't it? I mean, hopefully what we're seeing is we don't see as much litter on the street with cans and bottles. Now that we have the container deposit scheme, I'm seeing a lot less litter, which is really good news, right? So, and the other good thing is you can earn money from it as well.
Yeah. On this segment, we would like to pause for a joke break. Andrew, could you tell us your favorite dad joke?
Okay, but do you promise to laugh?
Yeah,
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay. Why did the tomato blush?
Why?
Because it saw the salad dressing. That's terrible, isn't it? Okay, I'll do better next time.
Why was the picture sent to jail?
I don't know.
It was framed.
Ah, very good.
Guys, did you hear about the fire at the circus last weekend?
No.
It was intense.
What do you call a dinosaur crossed with a pig?
What?
Jurassic pork.
Oh, this is too much.
Are there any local programs that people can get involved in?
Yeah, I think you've heard me talk about it a couple of times today. I think the most exciting local program really is the Container Deposit Scheme, or we call it CDS for short. And the way in which the public can get involved with that is that they can take all their bottles and cans and liquid paperboard as well, and they can take that in there, and they get 10 cents for every container that they bring in, every eligible container. So I think that's one of the best ways to participate, and you can do that pretty much Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. every day, so on those days, which is terrific. So it's a good opportunity for the general public to earn money, but as we said before, it's also a great opportunity to participate in recycling.
So how can schools like ours work with Foott Waste to reduce our recycling habits?
Well, I think that one of the things I'd encourage you to do is set up your own container deposit scheme program here, right? Maybe you can put it into a club, or maybe you can contribute to something at the school that you all want to do, whatever that might be. And we work with a lot of schools where they have designated bins where you make sure that you put your cans in one and your glass bottles in another and plastic in another. And I think, coming back to your question, I think the other thing that we can do, and we can always help in this, is make sure that we understand which material goes in which bin.
Yeah.
Because one of the things I can tell you all that is probably the biggest difficulty in recycling is when you have what's called contamination. And contamination is when the wrong material goes in a particular bin when it shouldn't. because what that means is it creates a mess, it makes contamination, and it makes it harder and harder to recycle. So I think one of the best things that we can all do is learn and understand which product must go into which bin.
Yeah.
So, what do you do with all the recycled materials that you get?
Various things. So we work with a lot of other businesses on the recycling. So sometimes a lot of the materials we deal with, they can be turned back into another container. So if I look at something like a glass bottle, so the glass bottle, what we do is we collect that, and that can then get smashed up and actually put back into what they call the glass furnace to be made into another glass bottle again, which is really cool. So if you take something like glass, it's infinitely recyclable. That means that it can be recycled again and again and again, which is really good without actually a lot of processing. So that's just one example of what we can do. Now, we don't do that ourselves. We actually help the manufacturer do that by providing the product to them.
Do you have any questions for us?
Yeah, I do. What I want to know is tell me about your favourite school project that you're doing on recycling or program. Do you have one here at the school that you can tell me about?
Well, like we have our like different colored bins, like you said, putting like the waste in the right bins.
Oh yeah, we also do this like yard cleanup every
like-
year. Like one class
Per term.
like they go out with all their class. Like I'm pretty sure it's 1 year or like one class.
Yeah, 1 year.
They all go out and they like pick up all the rubbish from the yard.
That's great, isn't it? And do you think, coming back to what we said before, do you think that your friends and your fellow students understand enough about what can be recycled and what can't be?
Probably not.
Maybe, I'm not sure.
I've seen so much
Probably.
paper in the red bin and so many biscuit packets in the yellow bins and blue bins. So I don't think they understand very well.
Yeah, so that's maybe an opportunity to look at, isn't it? To say, how can we better educate or teach or communicate with them about what can go in what bin? That's great. It's terrific that you're actually doing something and you're all involved with that, which is excellent.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the end of this episode of Let's Talk Bourchier. Thank you, Andrew, for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks very much, and thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure.